The summer before college was supposed to be exciting, but for Emma Carter, it felt bittersweet. She had spent her entire life dreaming of leaving her small North Carolina town, chasing the bright lights of New York City. She had been accepted into NYU's journalism program, something she had worked tirelessly for. It was everything she wanted, wasn't it? Jake Reynolds had always been part of her world. From scraped knees on the playground to late-night talks on her front porch, he had been her constant. But they had never crossed the line between friendship and something more, despite the stolen glances, the lingering touches, and the way her heart raced whenever he was near. Now, time was running out. In less than a month, she would be gone, and Jake would be heading in the opposite direction, to California for college. 2,000 miles apart. One humid July evening, as they drove down the winding backroads, the radio playing an old country love song, Emma felt the weight of the unspoken words between them. Jake had been quieter than usual, his hands gripping the steering wheel tighter. They ended up at the lake, their lake. It was where they had spent countless summers jumping into the cool water, making up stories about the constellations above them, and daring each other to swim out to the abandoned dock. The place had always been magical, but tonight, it felt different. Jake stepped out of the truck first, shoving his hands in his pockets. Emma followed, kicking off her sandals as she walked barefoot toward the water's edge. The moon reflected off the still surface, casting everything in a soft glow. "I don't want you to go," Jake finally said, breaking the silence. His voice was quiet, hesitant. Emma's heart clenched. "Jake, we've always known this was coming." "I know," he sighed, running a hand through his messy dark hair. "But I thought I'd be okay with it. And I'm not." She turned to look at him, the boy she had known forever but suddenly seemed so different, more grown up, more vulnerable. "Jake," she started, but he shook his head. "Just hear me out," he said, stepping closer. "I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know if long distance is impossible or if we're supposed to just move on. But what I do know is that I love you, Emma. And I can't let you leave without telling you that." Emma's breath caught in her throat. She had dreamed of hearing those words from him, but now that he had said them, she didn't know how to respond. Not because she didn't feel the same, because she did. She had loved him for years. But love wasn't enough to change their futures. Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, "Jake, I love you too." His eyes searched hers, full of hope and fear all at once. "Then let's not waste time pretending we don't." He reached for her hand, his fingers brushing against hers, and suddenly it all made sense. Maybe love didn't need certainty or guarantees. Maybe it was about taking the risk, about holding on to something even when the future was unclear. She smiled through her tears. "Okay." And as Jake pulled her close, pressing his lips to hers under the stars, Emma knew one thing for certain: no matter where life took them, this love was real. And real love was worth fighting for.